Hey guys, I'm Aaron with the Hunting Public, and this evening I'm out doing a little bit of practice with my broadheads, as you can see, and I wanted to give y'all a few quick tips, especially if you're beginners and you're just getting into bow hunting. The first thing is the accessories that you decide to go with on your bow. There's a lot of good high-end accurate arrow rests out there, but what I prefer when bow hunting is a full capture rest of some kind. This is a Whisker Biscuit here. They make a variety of different ones across several different brands. But in a hunting situation, you constantly find yourself in situations where you've got to move at an awkward angle to get a shot at an animal, whether that's kneeling down on a tree stand or moving to shoot through a hole in brush. I mean, maybe you've got to draw at a funny angle. Maybe a big buck is coming in and you're sitting there shaking with the bow in your hand. You can't have this arrow coming off of your rest and hitting your riser, because that's going to ruin any opportunity that you get. And that's the nice thing with, like I mentioned, the Whisker Biscuit that I've got here, is it's dead quiet. Your arrow is not coming out of that rest. And if you get the jitters when a buck's coming in, this is going to give you peace of mind that your arrow isn't going to come flying off of that thing. So as hunting rests go, a full capture arrow rest is your best friend, especially when it comes to tree stand hunting for deer. Next thing, and we'll stay on the subject of whitetail hunting, is the way that you set up your bow sights. There's a number of different ones out there. I mean, you got single pins, you got multi-pins like the one I've got, but the most important thing with any sight that you have is your top pin. It's your kill pin. Most opportunities when it comes to deer hunting are going to come in pretty close. I mean, 15 to 25 yards is where the majority of your shots are going to be taken. Now, I want you to remember that, because a lot of today's new equipment can shoot accurately out to much further distances. You know, out here in the yard, when I'm out here practicing, I'll shoot at 40, 50, 60 yards. But I rarely, if ever, take a shot at a deer while hunting past 30 yards. So the top pin, like I mentioned, is your most important pin. And in my sight housing right here, you can see that my top pin, my kill pin, is right in the center. That's another nice thing with a lot of the single pins out there. If you're just getting into bow hunting, that's the pin that you got to worry about. And if you're shooting a peep sight, you're going to anchor that peep right around the sight housing itself, and instinctively you're going to center that sight housing on whatever it is that you're shooting at. Might be a little bit different story if you're hunting out west or something and you may need to be taking shots 40, 50, 60 yards. But like I said, for deer, I've been deer hunting all my life, and I've shot maybe 2 of them over 25 yards. Most of them are 15 to 25 yards, so take great care in that kill pin. Another thing that you need to make sure to do is get your bow tuned correctly for your broadheads well before the season starts. You can sit out here in the yard all summer long flinging arrows with field tips on them, but if your broadheads don't shoot exactly the same as your field tips, you're going to have to re-sight in when season comes in. So as you can tell, I've got a broadhead on my arrow right now, and that's all I shoot for the last month of the summer before it gets into deer season in the fall. And tuning your bow is really easy. Just go to a local archery shop. They've got professionals there that can help you out. Go in there, they'll get you set up so that you've got proper arrow flight out of your bow. They'll help you with your form, everything. Use your local archery shops. They are definitely an asset when it comes to learning more about archery and bow hunting in general. And staying on the subject of broadheads, I'm obviously not going to be shooting this head at animals this fall. This is my target point that I practice with during the summer, and I'll go through all my arrows in my quiver. I'll put this specific head on them and shoot it into the target just to practice and get my broadheads tuned and ready to go. Then I'll put on brand new broadheads that are razor sharp when it comes time to go hunting. And the last thing that we do when it comes to practicing for the season, we have a lot of fun with this, is we like to put ourselves in awkward positions when we're shooting here in the yard, because as I mentioned earlier, when you're hunting, you're going to get thrown a curveball a lot of the time, whether you're having to kneel down or maybe you've got to draw back and hold for a long period of time until that deer exposes its vitals to you. You have lots of these different scenarios that are going to happen under a high pressure situation with an animal in front of you. So the more that you practice like that, the more prepared you're going to be when that situation pops up. Yes, you can sit out here every night and fling 100 arrows into a target with perfect form and become a really good target archer, but if you're going to be bow hunting and you want to make good ethical shots at animals, you need to mentally prepare yourself for those types of situations. But these are just a few tips that I learned growing up and shooting that still carry over to my practice today. I think you guys will find them useful. Good luck in the field this fall.